Hello, in this video we're going to cover how volumetric pricing works on Site Customiser and how you can take advantage of this powerful feature. If you're a dropshipper or want a very accurate price prediction for shipping signs to be more competitive, then this feature is for you. To start using volumetric pricing, you will need to create a customizer with the advanced model selected. I'm already showing the advanced pricing editor, but to quickly illustrate how you can access it, just click on the required options and then select pricing. From there, you can then go and add a new pricing and you will be taken to the same screen as illustrated. I'm just going to go back out and go back to the one that I'm currently editing. To start using the volumetric weight feature, go down to the shipping price method and make sure that volumetric weight is selected. When this option is selected, new options for the volumetric weight will be provided. Let's start off with the volumetric divisor. This is a value assigned by the shipping providers and can be found by speaking to the individual shipping provider. Ranges start from 4,000 and end at 6,000, but it's up to the shipping provider to provide you with that value. When volumetric weight is selected, you'll be able to modify the parcel size. To give you an understanding of what I'm talking about with the parcel sizes, I will refer to this example here, and most shipping providers have some kind of volumetric weight calculator, but this illustration kind of shows exactly what we're talking about parcel sizing. So we have the height, we have the width, and we have the length. Now, our app will automatically calculate the height and the width, and then the length is something that will need to be provided on a size range basis. Now, let's go and jump back into our app. The length value must be added for every size range. The height and width, as I mentioned, is automatically calculated. However, what we do provide also is these modifier values for the width and height. We do this so that if when you're creating the parcel, you are probably most likely going to be adding foam inserts and stuff to protect the sign. So this will add additional size to the actual or the volumetric weight. So what you can do is then use these two values to add to the final height and width. Moving on, we provide the shipping unit price. For volumetric weight, this means the price that you assign per kilo for the volumetric weight. So the volumetric weight, or the weight value, is measured in kilos, and this will be automatically calculated given the sign's height, width, and length that you provide here. And then it's just assigning a dollar value to the amount of kilos. Now, to get this actual kilo value, I would recommend speaking to your individual shipping provider. Putting it all together, Sign Customer gives you an example of what the price formula would look like in the max version of this size range. When I say max version, what I mean is this size range is at 40 centimeters, and the width and height examples are at 40 centimeters, because that would be the max of this size range. And just to recap as well, when what I would say here in this example here, if we've got a length of 20, we refer back to this, is the width is 40, the height is 40, the length would be 20 centimeters. And if we assign a value of $5 per kilo, we end up with $40 for this particular size range. Lastly, you can choose how the weight is calculated. So I'll just get out of this. And that is this option here. So there are two ways that you can assign the shipping price. One is to be included into the final price of the product. The other is to get the weight that we calculate and assign it to the Shopify product, and then let Shopify calculate the actual parcel weight. Now, that would be requiring that you use some kind of other shipping provider connected to Shopify. There are other apps out there that do that, and I believe Shopify does it as well. So you can use that example, and if you want to use that kind of method of calculation, then you would select this option and then hit save at the bottom in order to save your pricing. Lastly, let's go through with a couple of examples, or real life examples, and kind of show you to better illustrate how this all works. I'm just going to take that off for now. So putting it all together, let's show in some more real world examples how this all kind of works out. I've just renamed this pricing rule set to something that we can easily refer to. I will save it. I then can go back, and you can see that the volumetric weight price example is shown here. Now, what I can do is I can assign it to one or more fonts. Currently, it's not assigned to any, because I've just created it, but let's go into the first font here, and let's go to the pricing rule and go volumetric weight price example, and then we will save it. Okay, now we can test. So let's go and preview. So we'll click on preview before, and we will just create a quick sign, something, something simple to illustrate. So let's also click on the price breakdown. This is where I will clearly kind of explain how everything works together. So the price breakdown is used to clearly show how all the elements tie together in order to give a final price. Now, for that new pricing formula that I created that we talked about before, all we're utilizing is the actual shipping price part. We're not using, we've provided zero values for the letter price and such, so that's the reason why this is at 0. We are in the first size range. So this is size range 1 from 0 to 40 centimeters, because the sign size is less than 40 centimeters. So this works by both the height or width being greater than the other. If the height is greater than 40 centimeters or the width is greater than 40 centimeters, we're going to move on to the next size range. In this case, neither is, so therefore we're in size range 1. Now we'll talk about the shipping price values. So what we've done for what is shown here is 2.19 kilograms. That is the volumetric weight, and it's at $5 per kilogram. That is that shipping unit price that you provided before. This is the formula that's actually being used to calculate. So what this means is the width plus the width modifier times the height plus the height modifier times the length divided by the volume divisor that we all discussed previously. So this is just a quick breakdown of all the values. We've got a width of 38.9 that is shown here, a height of 7.44 that is shown here. The width modifier is 5, the height modifier is 5, the length is 20, and the volume divisor is 5,000. Put that in the calculator. What you get then is this formula, and basically it is that value times 2.19, sorry, I should say, and that gives you $10.93. So that is basically how it all works. Now you're probably thinking, well, okay, but how about, we can only do this on a per size range. So the length and the kilogram, sorry, I should say the kilogram. In this case, the kilogram is given a price for an entire range of sizes. what if I want to be more specific and I want to be more accurate with that? So what you can do is this option. We can go back to the pricing. We can go back to volume. And what we can do here is instead, we can add the weight to the product instead of calculating price. So I'm going to just save that. I'm going to show you what that actually means. So now you go into preview. We go test again. And what you're going to see is this. And this is not a bug. The price is 0, but the reason that it's not calculating the price anymore is what's actually happening is that is still calculating the weight based on the dimensions that we said, but what happens is when you go and to add to bag, add to cart, and create the product, that weight is going to be assigned to the actual weight in the product. So what that means then is that when the customer goes to check out the actual the product purchaser, what you can do is you let Shopify calculate the actual price for that package, for that product. And the way that Shopify calculates the package, well, you can use different shipping providers in order to, you can use different shipping providers and they've got their own methods and that kind of thing. But what we do is we give you the kilograms in the weight unit that can then be used for that volumetric weight calculation. So that's like another whole way that you can kind of use it. You can use our app in order to price the shipping prices for your products.